Hi, and welcome back to the Toon Goons, a podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the look. Nope. Listen, I haven't done this in a month. Hi, and welcome to the Toon Goons, the podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation and analyze how they affect the pop culture landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nicky.
And I'm Nina.
Tooch isn't here this month. He died.
Yep. Totally died. Send him flowers.
He was doing BMX stunts down at the quarry, and he didn't know that blasting was happening. So what was happening was while he was doing a jump, the bike was pushed up from underneath him, and he got his head stuck in the spokes of the front wheel. And then when the bike landed, the wheel kept spinning, chopped his head clean off.
That was very tragic.
Services will be held as soon as we can find the head.
Yep.
Son of a bitch went flying.
BMXing in the only quarry in Delaware. Oh, that beautiful soul. What a tragedy.
The services will be held in the quarry where he wanted them to be.
Yeah, well, we'll paint his BMX bike white and put it at the entrance. Really tasteful, you know?
Tooch isn't with the podcast anymore in any capacity. So it's just going to be me and Nina for at least right now. We're going to feel out how this works, but it's been almost 2 months actually since we've done this, and we were just jonesing to get back into it.
Yeah, I feel real rusty.
And when we last left you guys, we said we were going to talk about Kubo and the Two Strings. Honestly, we're not feeling it right now. I mean, I don't even think it's in theaters anymore.
No, I don't remember all the things I wanted to say about it. It was good.
It was absolutely gorgeous. Personally, I felt a little underwhelmed by the story, but it was...
Oh, really? I liked it a lot.
Maybe it's something...
I liked the ending.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was... You know what? We'll revisit it some other time.
Yeah, maybe when it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
Or Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely fucking gorgeous, though. Like, the greatest piece of stop motion animation from a visual perspective that has ever existed, hands down.
Yeah.
Infuriating how beautiful it was.
Yeah, really. It's like, fuck this
I was
movie.
mad a lot. But, so this week, we are instead going to talk about the Ace Attorney anime, because, while Nina was at home with me over the summer, we watched the whole thing on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, as it was coming out.
Yeah, we super dug it, and then and since then, Nina's been on an Ace Attorney kick revisiting the games.
Yeah, because I moved out. I have my own place in Brooklyn now. Don't have a job yet. Working on that part. But in the meantime, since I have all this free time, I was like, you know what? It's October. I've had Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton for 2 years now, and I've never played it.
Which is crazy, because, it's the most Nina game that could ever exist.
I was anticipating it, and then when I bought it, I didn't buy it. I got it for Christmas. I guess I was still in school. I didn't feel it at the time. I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play it. There's witches in it. It's October. Let's do it. And I did it, and I cried, and I'm like, I miss it so much. So I went back and replayed Trials and Trib, and I tried to play Apollo Justice, and it broke, and I was very sad, and then I just kind of fell into a hole of Ace Attorney fandom hell, because I'm jobless, and that's what will happen to you when you have nothing to do.
And I like the games, too. Before we get more into that, we've got a couple of news stories. Now, we're not going to cover everything that happened in the interim period, because that doesn't make any sense.
No.
So what we're covering right now, what Nina collected were the stories from, the past week or so. But one thing that we do want to address, because it was a big piece of news that happened while we were gone.
Yeah.
Was that we learned that Adventure Time is ending. Mm-hmm. Do you know after what season?
Yeah, we know it's ending in 2018, but it doesn't specify the season that it's ending.
I forget what season we're on, or in between.
We were on season 7?
Okay.
Last time I checked.
It was a big story that came out. It was a very big piece of cartoon news because we've talked about this before. Adventure Time is responsible more so than anything else for ushering in the current age of children's television animation.
Yeah.
We've talked about how Chowder and Flapjack sort of set the groundwork, but Adventure Time is what's really responsible for where we are now. Although not initially. It's a whole thing. We'll definitely talk about it. But
I mean, we have, haven't we?
We have a lot. We have a lot. We haven't done we've done one dedicated Adventure Time episode where we talked about the Stakes miniseries. We probably talk about it in there at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it pretty much anytime Adventure Time comes up.
Yes. And here's the thing, though, is that, like, a lot of people were really, really sad about this.
Yeah.
I'm not...
I wasn't sad either.
Yeah, I'm not sad. I wasn't sad when I heard it, and I'm not sad now. I will probably be sad when it like, actually ends.
Yeah, me too, obviously. But, like, it's 2 years away. And
it's 2 years away, and, during season 6, we were like... maybe the show should end next season. Because season 6 was a real bummer season, and I think they were just in a funk. But, like, the thing about, frankly, any show, but in this show in particular, is that it's not gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be meaningful without a conclusion.
No, definitely.
It can't peter out. It needs to reach a definite conclusion. Because the show is about a lot of things. And, one of the things it's about sometimes is fatalism. Sometimes it's about hope. Sometimes it's about balancing the two of them. And I think that I'm really interested to see how the show ends properly in 2 years. Maybe a year and a half. We'll see.
Yeah, and, like, a lot of people were, like, already crying, and I was like, there's still, like, at least an entire season left. You have any idea how much can happen in a season,
Of this show?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and honestly, I feel like it should end.
Oh,
it's been on air for a long time. Let it end and rest in peace. It's not, don't want to turn it to The Simpsons or something where it just keeps going and going, even though I heard The Simpsons has gotten good again, but I don't know. Make a new show.
Yeah, I mean, Penn Ward said he's not creating another show. He doesn't have it in him, but I can't imagine he's going to retire from animation.
No.
Or maybe he'll do like what he did with Bravest Wars, is he'll come up with an idea and then he'll give it to other people to make. He's like, I just can't. I can't. I'm so tired. I'm still tired from Adventure Time.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, it was intense. It was the biggest cartoon on TV for a long time. And then even when he created Bravest Warriors, that was kind of like a thing because...
But, I think the show has absolutely gotten a run that it deserves. Like, I think it's gonna be at least 8 seasons. For a show which is so out there in a lot of ways that it's kind of miraculous it got 2.
Honestly, yeah. So, I mean, I'm satisfied. I'm looking forward to the ending. I'm looking forward to more new episodes and having fun with it and seeing where we end up, what questions get answered, which ones remain ambiguous.
Yeah. I'm reading another headline here. Apparently it's the final season will be the 9th season.
Yeah.
Which makes sense
we have
mathematically.
2 more seasons. Everybody calm down.
I just wanted to make sure we talked about that because it's big. But let's talk about the more recent stuff. Where do you want to start, Nina?
Just get some quickie stuff out of the way. A couple shows have been renewed for more seasons. We Bare Bears has a 3rd season that is coming up. It has been approved. It's going to premiere early next year, which isn't too far away.
Yeah.
It's going to include episodes featuring the baby bears, holiday specials, and the return of your favorite characters, Nom Nom, Chloe, Charlie, Lucy. Ooh, Lucy's coming back. And Ranger Tabes! Yay! Yeah. And it's going to feature guest star comedian Ron Funches and John DiMaggio.
Yeah. Who is, I believe, currently on strike.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean,
only from video games.
From video games, yeah. That's why we're not talking about it. But good luck to the strikers. I always side with them.
Yep.
especially here because I know what's at stake. But yeah, this is We Bare Bears is so good, and I feel like it's being overshadowed by more by stuff that has like a bigger impact. Like it's obviously in the shadow of stuff like Steven Universe, which is inevitable because Steven Universe casts a long shadow.
Or other cartoons that kids like to watch, like Teen Titans Go, for instance, gets a lot of ratings.
There's a profundity to We Bare Bears that I think it's a really, really important show. And I'm glad it's getting its due.
It's fun to watch. It makes you feel good. It's like a classic sitcom in the sense that you just sit down and you watch it and you're like, I feel good now.
Yeah, which is something that Steven Universe can't always say.
No. It can't.
We Bare Bears says that every time, except for the one with the crab, where I was extremely sad about the crab.
Craboo. Oh, baby Grizz, but...
Yeah, I mean... pound for pound, it's more uplifting than...
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Another show that is getting renewed for a third season, is the current top-rated kids cartoon show on television today in total, which is The Loud House, which is a show that we haven't covered on our show yet, because it kind of slipped under our radar.
And then it was under our radar and then became huge, and we're like, well, shit, we gotta. And we were putting it off for a bit, and then we went on hiatus. But it's still absolutely something that we are going to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of incredible, the ratings that this show gets. Like, since its launch on May 2nd, it has emerged as the #1 kids animated show on TV, posting double-digit gains over last year and delivering almost 2 million total viewers. Like, that's insane.
And that's something Nickelodeon desperately needs.
Oh, yes. They're continuing with the third season. That's getting approved, obviously, because the show is insane. It's going to bring the total episode count up to 78. And the third season will be slated for next year, 2017. Because the premiere of season 2 hasn't even happened yet, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So,
that makes sense, because I figure like it couldn't have slipped under our radar for that long.
No, it came out in May, so they're probably going to start season 2 either...
It says next year.
No.
The show's currently gearing up for the premiere of season 2, so probably by the end of the year.
Probably by the end of the year, and then into the previous year, then they'll probably have a break, and then season 3 will probably come out not too soon afterwards. So that's happening.
Yeah. We should try to catch up before season 2 starts.
Yeah, I guess I don't have an excuse anymore, being jobless. Lately, I've just been watching a lot of anime, though. Next up is we've got a little switcheroo in Disney Pixar's plan. And that is that they are switching the launch dates of The Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4. They will now land in theaters. Incredibles will come out first, June 15th, 2018, while Toy Story will come out June 21st, 2019. Incredibles 2 is going to be directed by Brad Bird again, thankfully. And then Toy Story 4 is being directed by Lasseter. I don't know why they're switching the dates exactly.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it has to do with the 2018 bust that's coming. I wonder if Hollywood's even really acknowledging that now. And I kind of can't talk about that again because I've talked about it on this show before in a recent episode, this past summer. And I've just told so many people about it, but 2018 is a year when it's all going to go south because there's going to be too many movies. Yeah. So who knows what's even going to exist in 2019?
Yeah,
it's really trying to look beyond an event horizon. Anything that has a projected release of 2019, my reaction is, we'll fucking see, homie.
Right. But I'm just kind of I'm more excited about Incredibles 2 than Toy Story 4.
Me as well. And here's the thing. Everything in 2018 is gonna come out in 2018.
Yeah.
By that point, it'll be too late to pull plugs. So, we'll definitely get Incredibles 2. Yeah. And what I bet it probably is that Incredibles 2 is coming along quicker than Toy Story 4.
It's possible, yeah.
Instead of having a gap, they're probably just, lighting a fire under the ass of the Incredibles team to, because, they're probably going to have to hustle to get it out on time, but, I bet that's what it is.
Yeah, hopefully it won't compromise the finished product. And last but not least, what I have here is a little film that has piqued my curiosity, and that is Sébastien Ladonbach. Critically applauded and hand-animated feature, The Girl Without Hands, has started making its rounds in the festival circuit and has won some awards. So it's getting buzz, It, quote, is a vibrant aesthetic for a feminist and sensual tale which recalls Matisse, Paul Cérussier, Nabi, and Fauvinism.
I know one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this image. Yeah, it looks Matisse enough.
Yeah, why I'm curious about it is because it's a adaptation of a kind of obscure Brothers Grimm story about a miller who sells his daughter to the devil, and then the girl manages to escape but not without losing her hands, and then she goes on this crazy journey, which I always thought was a really interesting story. Just the image of a girl running around the forest without hands is kind of striking. And I've always sort of wanted to see it adapted into a feature of some kind. So this might be our chance. G-Kids has picked it up, even though the subject matter doesn't exactly seem very kid-friendly, hence why it hasn't been adapted before, for the film in May. So we should be seeing it around May come next year outside of the festival circuit. I mean, if it's a Matisse movie that moves, everyone's gonna fucking just froth at the mouth at that just because of how it looks. Yeah, so that's something I'm putting on my radar at least.
So let's get into this show, because I think it's a really